arpeggiated seventh. You know what an arpeggiated seventh is?
Do you know what an arpeggiated seventh? That.
Because we're in the 7th arrondissement. Press, our local resident musician, sent me a little email, said, start with an arpeggiated seventh.
And you're like, yeah.
I was like, you want me to do it or do you want to do it? And he's like, I'll do it. So that's what you just heard, and the people at home too. But the reason we started with that is because we're in the 7th arrondissement. More music surprises to come, by the way. This episode that you're hearing is part of the Paris Countdown. My name's Oliver.
I'm Lena.
We're going around the whole of Paris, 20th arrondissement, all the way to the 1st. And this week, it is the
7th arrondissement.
Beautiful, touristy, famous Eiffel Tower, Musée Rodin, Musée d'Orsay, Invalides.
Yeah, it is chock-a-block.
Seine River.
I mean, so many highlights.
Yeah.
Hard to choose, huh?
Yeah, and what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the vibe of the neighborhood. We're going to talk about how we spent 24 hours here. And have I said that we live here yet?
No.
Right, because we live in this district and it's very hard to pick the best sort of things to do. We treated ourselves, we were like tourists, and we're going to share with you now how you should spend a day, or at least how we recommend.
How we like to spend a day, our dream day.
Yeah, our dream day. So that's what you're about to hear. It's going to end with a bar, restaurant bar with an incredible view over the sparkling Eiffel Tower that we had never even heard about before.
I am shocked that it exists, and us not knowing it.
Hang around for the end of that. And also, you guys are going to hear an interview with someone who I've been trying to interview for years.
Yeah, so exciting. Can you tell us a bit more, maybe?
No, it can't be stuffed. Is that a clue? All right, here comes some intro music. So that music is from anyone new around here. We've got Press Maxon,
the man, the myth,
the legend, the enigma, wrapped in an
American man.
He does all the music, and this week, he does it to fit in with the episode. And what we just heard, I'll read from his email.
Yeah.
He said, regarding the song for the 7th arrondissement, I added an opening piano chord that is, you guessed it, an arpeggiated 7th.
But of course.
We did guess it. Then the piano intro is actually the song The Girl Who Stole the Eiffel Tower, short tune by Frank Sinatra, as heard in the movie
Paris When It Sizzles.
Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah,
Lena's
for you
excited.
Fellow Hepburn fans out there.
You Hepburnites out there.
Hepburnites.
Have I told the story on the podcast before how, when we met, I thought you were really elegant? And, I still do, but I thought you had this lovely way of talking until
I based my whole English character on...
Holly Golightly.
Golightly?
Do
You
lightly?
What's you go lightly on Holly, will you?
It is that.
Yeah, but you say it weird.
How does she say it?
Holly Golightly.
Oh.
You went go lightly.
I'm thinking I've read it. I read the book.
Oh, okay, well.
Say it again. Holly Golightly. Holly Golightly. It's Holly Golightly.
Golightly.
Why not? But Leila, when we met, she'd say things like, oh, Oliver, I'd surely go ape if I was to miss the opening of the shop, Tiffany's, Anyway.
Okay, well, that's neither here nor there.
For today's episode. I shouldn't be mean. I should tread lightly around you. The music from Press actually continues. We'll play it a little bit later because he sent an awful lot, but I had an idea. Whenever there's a sort of almost when we need a sound effect, we can use that arpeggiated 7th. Like now. Ah, nice. Now,
refreshed.
Enough of the messing around here. The 7th. Let's talk about the vibe.
Okay.
First, I think we get the facts out of the way. We've lived here for over a year.
How about let's start with the geographical.
That's a good idea.
So the 7th is quite a big district. And it's facing, yeah, I guess. It's on the river Seine.
So if Paris was a big old dartboard, funny, we played darts.
We did
during this exploration.
So funny.
We are sort of imagine the middle, head to the left, bottom half.
Yeah.
I think that's like where number 5 or 17 was. Do you remember? But it's sort of left, and it's in the middle, sort of. So it's pretty accessible. It's pretty big. Everyone who's been to Paris has been there because all the famous monuments are here.
At least one major.
Yeah, the Eiffel, the big old Eiffel. But we like it as parents of a youngster because big wide boulevards, not very crowded.
Yeah,
like
it's
some of the
nice
other
and
places.
calm. And old.
Yeah.
We're definitely the youngest in our building.
We brought
by 50 years.
we brought the average age down.
Yeah.
By and then when Otis was born.
Yeah. That's a whole new game.
Excited. Everyone was so excited to have a baby.
Yeah.
And this is a story we'll tell properly at one point. But for the 7th, I think the vibe. It's quite different to other parts of Paris because there's so many tourists around some places. You know, it reminds me of the 18th. You know, some people say they don't like Montmartre, they don't like the 18th, too many tourists.
Too touristy, yeah.
There are only some places. There are so, like, I'm looking out the window at a big street.
You've got to know where to go.
Sure, I'm looking out the window at a big street here, like quite a popular street. No one is there.
Yeah, it's empty.
And that's the story for a lot of the district. But if you're down by the river, the Eiffel Tower, it's going to be busy. Like Lena said, there's not many young people around here. It's kind of boring.
It's kind of old and stuffy.
Yeah.
But it's also very, very nice. Like, it's old Paris, but I feel like it's not the same as in the 16th. You know how we talked about, or you talked about, someone quoted, like, it's not old money, it's dead money.
It was the Comte de Saint-Germain who said it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's got so many
and
shout-outs in this season. It is like if you were young, if you were moving to Paris, you wouldn't want to be based here in the 7th because there's nothing to do. There's no cool bar. Like if you compare it to the 11th, or the 20th, where there's
it's
so
like
much happening.
Hugely different.
We've noticed
but for a young family, actually, really nice.
We noticed it while we've been doing this series traveling around Paris, how different this place is to the rest.
Yeah.
Like going to République, right in central Paris there, the vibe there is so different to the 7th. If you're a little bit older, if you're a little bit calmer, you have found your favorite part of Paris. Also, we sort of going to get through all the places that we visited, but one of the pearls of this is Rue Claire. And I just want to talk about that for a little second because I've been getting a few emails lately, people saying it's like Disneyland, it's not very authentic. And I disagree entirely.
I really do too.
Yeah, Rue Claire, Ruecler. It's like a market street. It's similar to Rue Montaguet in the 2nd.
Yeah.
Lots of terraces, restaurants, food, fruit and veg.
Florists.
Lively, yeah. I like it.
I really like you know what? I feel like it's more authentic, less touristy than Rue Montaguet.
I think there are a lot of people walking down there. I think some famous Americans have said it's a great street, and that's why there's a lot of Americans there too.
Yeah.
But
well, it is a little bit of like Americaville around here in the 7th.
True.
That's just how it is.
There's an American church.
Exactly.
There's
the university.
Shop. Yeah,
yep. So, like, yeah, there's a reason.
So there are some young people walking around. There's the American University, which I taught at. How about that? I taught podcasting there once upon a time.
I remember that. But I don't feel like it's Disneyland. I feel like it's quite authentic and it's a really good mix of people. Young and old and, you know.
In terms of, to add to the geographical thing that you said, the shape of, it's like a diamond shape. District sort of the sand curves at the top of it, the north edge of it, and then it comes down to almost like a point at the bottom. What I'd say is if you're looking at that, imagine like a diamond on the map, so it's sort of a big triangle with a curved top. The bottom part of the diamond, so the south part, you don't want to bother with it. Residential, nothing really to see, just don't even go there.
Yeah, keep towards the river.
Top left corner, Eiffel Tower. Top right corner, Musée d'Orsay and those cool streets around there.
Towards Saint-Germain.
So where you want to be is essentially the top two corners. Where the Eiffel Tower spits out, we'll talk about this more, it spits out into like Rue Claire, pedestrianized, Gros Caillou, it's called, the big stone, I don't even know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then the other side is much more lively, sort of entering in towards the Latin Quarter, Rue du Bac, a lot of shops, antique shops, hustle bustle near Sorbonne University. So it's really, going around there. If you're young and you want to live in the 7th, be there.
You know what's funny? Like, I feel like a lot of people, if they don't know Paris very well, and me certainly, like when I first moved here, I thought the Eiffel Tower was really central.
I think a lot of people think that.
So, but it's not at all. So yeah, you just end up walking for a long time if you're going to end up walking from like the Marais and stuff.
I can add something to that. The Eiffel Tower is so big. It is so big that when you're walking towards it, and I made this mistake when I first moved here, you think you'll approach it, you'll get there really soon, but because it's so big, you're always further away than you anticipate.
It's like a mirage.
It is.
But it exists.
But
they say, or maybe there's a girl that stole it. Who knows? Yeah.
You know, the Louvre, when you go to the Louvre Museum, everyone always walks too much and gets tired at the end, and it kind of almost can ruin the experience. That's a similar thing with the Eiffel Tower. People who are staying in the Marais or worse, further away, and they go, we can walk, I can see it. Yeah. Especially when you're on like Pont Neuf, you're like, I want to walk to the Eiffel Tower. And it takes you like an hour and a half, and then you got to queue up to get up to the top. Your day's over. That'll do it for the geography, I think.
Yeah.
So that song, back to Press Maxim. He's outdone himself here. And you're gonna, this is gonna blow your mind. He's outdone himself. I'm gonna read from the email. What you just heard, the intro, was for the song La Tour Eiffel est toujours là.
Okay.
The
still here.
Eiffel Tower is still
there.
Here or there.
That's neither here nor there.
Is it Mistinguett or Mustinguett?
I don't know, but you kind of sounded Kiwi when you said Mustinguett, so I think it's Mistinguett. I'm not sure, it depends.
I think it'd be Mustinguett. Whatever.
Okay.
She performed in places like the Folies Bergère and Moulin Rouge, and in the early 20th century, she was the highest paid female entertainer in the world, spent many years with Maurice Chevalier, but they never got married. But that's not what's going to blow your mind. This bit, here I quote, "Since this is the current home arrondissement of the G's, in the middle of the song I added a little section featuring the chord progression G major 7th,
okay,
and then 2 E minor 9ths, essentially baking your last name G-E-E right into the music in case there was any doubt about which arrondissement you currently call home."
Get out of here.
Get out of here, Press.
Wow. I don't really know what it means, and I'm sure I'll be able to hear it, hopefully.
Well, the whole song,
but
as
that
always,
is impressive.
The whole song will be in the YouTube video, and I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but we went over 10,000 YouTube subscribers. Yay. So thank you 10,000 times to everybody. Go and watch the full video. You get to hear the whole music experience, and the 7th video is going to be pretty nice. Thanks, Press, as always.
Wow, I'm just blown away.
I said you'd be blown away.
Yeah, I'm blown away.
Let's get into...
But I'm toujours là.
Let's get into what we did in the 7th. So I want everyone to imagine this is how we would recommend you to spend a day in a district where there are way too many things to do. Way too many things. You know, like people say it's really hard to... You shouldn't pick your favorite child.
Yeah.
Not hard for us. We got one. But doing the 7th for us was a bit like that. Because we spend every day here.
Yeah, it almost feels a bit unfair, to have to pick.
And also, we knew, if you're only here for a day, spoiler alert, we did not climb the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
We're just not going to waste time on it.
Waste of time.
I don't recommend people, if you're first time to Paris, go up the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
just
a bit of fun.
do it. But if we're going to tell you how to spend a day here, you're not going to spend 2 hours doing that.
No.
What you will do is you have breakfast at Khartoum.
Oh, love Khartoum.
Khartoum is...
we talked about them before.
Well, Khartoum was the... Tom Clark, the Australian guy that was the co-founder of it. He was the 3rd ever podcast guest on this show. Way back when I used to do silly stunts. I remember I got coffee from different shops and did a blind taste test on it. One of them was McDonald's coffee that was cold and old. And I was like, is it good or is it bad? But Khartoum, it's really... It's very pretty. Yeah. It's very modern.
And the quality of the products is just the best.
I was thinking that when I was there. A lot of... If you go for a breakfast at Le Bistro in Paris, you get a croissant and you get a nice baguette with butter and jam.
If you're lucky, it could also be kind of old. Sure. The croissant can also be a bit dry. You never really know.
Sure, but you can get... It can be really nice.
Oh, it can be really good.
But in terms of... And especially if you're coming from a country where bread isn't so important and croissants aren't popular, that's going to be the best thing forever. You're going to love it. But when you go to somewhere like Khartoum, I was thinking about it because we both got the same thing, pancakes. Yeah. What do you call it? Sweet pancakes?
Sweet pancakes.
I was eating it and I was like, this is exceptional.
Yeah, it's just delicious.
Nowhere on this street has this kind of breakfast food. It's all the other kind of stuff. And probably not in the district. We love it. They're friends, but like we go there as customers all the time.
Genuine fans.
And the people are really friendly.
Oh, such good stuff. Yeah, it's just really nice.
A lot of easy to take pictures in there too, because it's like the interior. We did an event there, remember?
Yeah.
That was where I launched Paris on Air, my book. Oh, wow. How about that?
That was a while ago.
I know. So Khartoum for breakfast.
Yeah.
Rue Babylon, right next to a really beautiful park that we filmed in.
Yeah,
Catherine Labouré is the name of it.
That's right. And it's got this long alleyway with wine, like wine? Yeah, it's wine. Like grapes growing like all around you. Grapevines, there you go. It's beautiful.
That's a real, like there's not, you know, like when we were in the 8th, we talked about Parc Monceau and how much we loved it and so on. There's not that kind of park here.
No.
There's
the closest
huge parks. Champ de Mars in front of the Eiffel Tower, not so fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it's good in parts, but it's like it's way too many people, and it's
Monceau,
worn down.
And the Invalides Park.
Oh yeah, that's just lawn.
It's grass.
Yeah.
So that'll do as the best place for a park. But what we did after that is we went down to, and this is the clue was when I said can't be stuffed. This interview you're about to hear. We went to a shop called Deyrolle. Yeah. Deyrolle. This is a hidden gem.
Definitely.
I don't think everybody knows about this at all.
No.
Especially if you just pop your head into the shop, it's like the bottom floor is like gardening supplies.
Yeah, gardening tools and like cute little like posters
books,
of flowers.
Like
yeah.
Go upstairs. Because if you go upstairs, you have...
it's surreal.
An amazing room of stuffed animals and insects. Butterfly room.
It's just a huge collection. You got everything from like... lions to peacocks to monkeys.
There's a polar bear.
There's a polar bear,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
A tiger that our son was very infatuated with.
The butterfly room at the very back is incredible.
Oh my god!
And I was talking to some people came to see me in Paris, and I said you got to go see Deyrolle, and one of them said, "Oh, I'm a bit, I'm an animal lover, and you know." Don't worry, guys. These guys are at the top of the game when it comes to the way they do it. But I'm not going to explain.
No.
Because I met Francine, who is the head of the place. She's been running it for 20 years. And I said, do you mind sparing a few minutes to chat to me about your lovely establishment and the 7th arrondissement? You know what she said?
No, what did she say?
She said, allez-y.
Oh my God.
Let's go.
Good.
Francine.
Yes.
How are you?
Fine, and you, Oliver?
I'm very well, and you're standing about 1 meter away from a brown bear.
Yes.
And I'm underneath a rhinoceros, so this is an unusual interview. But before we talk about animals and Deyrolle, I want to just ask you about the 7th arrondissement.
Oh yes, this district is incredible. For me, it's like the heart of Paris, because there is a lot of very interesting buildings, a beautiful one like from the Ottoman time, something like 1.5 century, and there are a lot of secret places here, like Deyrolle, but of course museums and a lot of shops with French savoir-faire. So I love this district. I'm very happy to work here and to be here with Deyrolle. You know, here we are in the place, in the building. It's an antique hôtel particulier,
right?
Typical French hôtel particulier in Paris, which was built like something 2.5 years ago by a man who worked for the king, Louis XIV. So it's a very famous place, and this district have very beautiful places and also very secret places.
So, and one of the most secret places, or very secret places, is your shop. And we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But is there any negatives to the 7th? Is it too expensive? Too many tourists?
No, not too many tourists, because we love tourists. I love when I'm here in the shop. I love hearing from all languages, and people come from all over the world here, and I'm very happy of this. You know, with the COVID, there was nobody. Everything was closed, so we are so happy to find you again, to see you again.
Everyone's happy that you're open as well. When we were talking before, you mentioned Woody Allen.
Yeah.
They filmed a bit of Midnight in Paris.
Yeah, Midnight in Paris.
Did that make you were here?
Yeah, I was here. It's incredible to see how he was directing people.
And Owen Wilson, nice guy?
Yeah. Nice. I don't know if he's nice, but he's very professional. Okay. He has in his head exactly what in his mind, exactly what he knows what he wants to have.
Yeah. Speaking of knowing what he wants to have, I want to talk about Deyrolle with you. It's been around for 200-ish years.
Yes.
You've been running it for 20 years.
Yeah.
What's the thing that people like the most when they come in here? Is there something that everyone loves?
Yes, I think what they love is to see things they don't see anywhere else, because there are animals and butterflies from all over the world. They have things also they can learn from here, and they know that Deyrolle is very involved in the 21st century. We was an official partner of the COP21 with the education, and we have a lot of actions now to preserve biodiversity. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what people feel here and what they share with us.
And there might be some people who say, oh, animals that have been stuffed, it's cruelty to animals. Your response?
Yeah, my response is that we follow the international laws and the Convention of Washington, who is very strict, and that's very good, which is very strict, and from where the animals come. For example, there is a tiger here. We can share who are their parents, his parents, and his grandparents. And he was in captivity and not in the forest, and so on and so on.
Have you ever had a liger? Like a cross between a tiger and a lion? They're very rare.
No,
not yet. We'll work on that.
I've never heard of it.
What I really like is that you have animals, people can rent them.
Yeah,
right?
Rent or buy.
Rent or buy.
Yeah.
Because I've thought, I don't have room for a polar bear, but at my house. But it would be really cool to have it for an event or something. I think that's what people do. They get them for when they rent them. Is that the idea?
Not an event. It's very rare.
Well, what do they rent them for?
We work a lot with museums. Mm-hmm. We sell the animals to museums, natural history museums.
Right.
So, and taxidermy. This is what we do. In a few years, it will be the only way to see and to be close to some animals, because a lot of them are going to disappear.
The final question I have for you, is there any animal that you know is coming soon that we can be excited about? Are you any upcoming?
Oh, no, we don't know really what is going to come, because the animals are not killed to be here.
Of course.
So we don't know. We work with taxidermists in all over the world, and when they have something for us, we say, okay, we take it. And maybe some animals are here since a very long time, and taxidermy, we can keep it for years and years and years. If you go to French museum, you can find taxidermy from more than 100 years.
I have another last question.
Yes, please.
How long does it take to do taxidermy? How long does it take to stuff a bear?
There is the time to do it, and there is a time to dry it, so it's a few months.
Okay, I've always wanted to know. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Oliver. Hope see you soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. And everybody, you must immediately come to Deyrolle on your next trip to Paris.
Yes, I agree with you.
And also, thank you for letting me take photos, because I know it's not allowed in here.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So, Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Professional,
huh? How about Marion Cotillard?
I asked her about it afterwards.
Yeah.
She said she was like elegant and lovely.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised at all. It's like picture of elegance.
Speaking of picture, you're not allowed to take photos upstairs. I took a bunch.
And videos.
Francine let me. We took videos. She was in the videos.
So accommodating.
Yeah. Really nice.
It's lovely.
Yeah, really. I've been wanting to interview them forever. So remember, another shout out for the YouTube video there, because you will see inside it, and I don't know if anyone else is.
No, I mean, this is a rare gem.
It's a scoop.
It's a scoop.
This is a good chance to do a big shout out. There's no ads on this show. Everything's made possible by the Patreon supporters, and there was some huge news in Patreon world. The Earful Tower's Patreon page caught the attention of the team at Patreon themselves. I think they call themselves Patreon. That's all right. Anyway, they got in contact and they said, Oliver, You've built an incredible community. Their words. We want you to be a Patreon ambassador for Europe. I said, that sounds like an honor. Thanks very much. And I'm going to be doing all these sort of behind-the-scenes meetings and hopefully helping to improve their platform for other people and stuff. But I want to take the chance to say thank you to the people who've taken the plunge and signed up as Patreon members.
Yeah, to the awesome crowd.
And the incredible community.
The incredible.
Not my words, not my words.
All right then, Mr. Ambassador.
So if that is you out there, if you are a Patreon member, I just want to say a huge thank you. That's how this show functions. You'll notice there were no ads at the start, there's no ads at the end. It's just through you guys. If you are a member and you're sitting there nodding, saying, that's me, I'm nodding right back at you guys. Thank you very much from all of us.
Yeah.
If you're not a member and you're one of those people who've been meaning to sign up, today's the day. Patreon.com/the Earful Tower. I've actually met a bunch of members lately because I've been training up tour guides to do Earful Tower tours.
So you had some test tours.
And what I did was I said to the members, I put in the members group, if you're in Paris and you want to come on a test tour, because I don't want to just teach my tours to tour guides. I want to do a tour and have them watch it.
Yeah, so it's real.
Yeah, and that's what we did next. Is we did I did my tour of the 7th arrondissement for a few listeners. So Bernie, Rosemary, and Jerry. I took them around the 7th. Charlotte was following, Augusta the photographer was following, and you were following for a bit.
Yeah, popped in. So it's quite a little crowd.
And Otis as well.
Yeah.
that was too big for a tour.
Too big.
But it was fun. And the point is, in the 7th, there's a lot of stuff in this Gros Caillou area. I'm not going to talk about the tour, but it's something that's going to be available really soon. Get in touch. That area, architecture, amazing doors, amazing courtyards with mosaic tiles, the shopping street Rue Claire.
You got the whole... I know they're very long streets, but Rue Grenelle, Rue Saint-Dominique, just very nice.
And little bits like that. Remember that pharmacy that the guy interviewed at the pharmacy? And just especially the architecture, the way that it's all put together with the Eiffel Tower looming over it all. So that's what we did in the afternoon. And it was fun to show around, to show off home to some people. And we'll be sort of detailing that in pictures and social media posts in the coming days. After that, you and I did something quite special.
Yes.
A favourite museum of both of ours, I think. The Musée Rodin.
Oh, I love that place so much.
The Rodin Museum.
Rodin.
This, I think, it reminds me of the Nissim de Commando we talked about last week.
I was just going to say, like, it's also quite a smaller museum.
And a house, like he lived and worked there.
But this one has an exceptional garden as well attached to it, and it's so lovely.
Nice grass.
Yeah. Such nice grass.
I wanted to say that I think I feel that when people come to Paris and sort of say the top 10 things they want to do, I don't think people put the Rodin Museum in there, and I think they should.
Yeah.
It's that good.
It is really nice.
It would be in my top 10 above.
I mean, you can easily stroll through the museum in like 10 minutes if you just want to just get a vibe.
The gist.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
museum gist.
Yeah.
Which we kind of did because it was
and it's filled with sculptures and also some paintings, but mainly sculptures.
The building itself, incredible. Incredible.
Yeah.
It
looks like a little chateau.
I'm sure there's someone out there who doesn't know who we're talking about. Auguste Rodin, sculptor, famous guy. He did the Thinker, the man sitting with his chin on his fist and his elbow on his knee.
Yes.
Someone walked up to me when I was sitting in the garden. I'm not going to say where she was from because I don't want to have complaints from people from the same country, because that happened once when I did this.
Oh, really?
She came up to me and she just came up and she goes, "Where's the Thinker?" And I was like, sorry, what? And she goes, "Where's the Thinker?" And I said, I was a bit rude. I don't think I would usually do this, but I said, "Hello." And she goes, "Bonjour, where's the Thinker?" And I was like, oh my goodness.
On the warpath.
Yeah, I know. So I pointed
you should
out.
have said,
I pointed the wrong way.
You should have said something like, "Well, not here."
Yeah, I should have said, not you when it comes to
not
politeness.
Nearby, apparently.
The Thinker, for everybody who wants to know, is when you enter, it's to the right-hand side. It's not such a big museum. You'll find if you walk around.
Oh, yeah.
But what we did, the heat wave was just about to hit, and we'd been walking around a lot, so we sat on the grass.
With a fractious 1-year-old who's hot enough.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. They've got a nice little cafe in there. Very expensive.
Yeah.
Way like criminally overpriced.
Yeah.
So bring
BYOW.
Yeah, like 4 times
Bring
the price
your
of
own water.
Yeah, 4 times the price of a supermarket next door or something. A bit of a rip-off, I thought.
A little bit, but that's fine.
They'll suffer in the affordability at the end. So the Musée Rodin, totally worth it. Check that one out. At this point, went home, got rid of the baby. Babysitter came. Woohoo! Thanks, Marie. And we went to another favorite of ours, a restaurant called Thumieux.
Yes.
It's probably pronounced Thumieux.
I always say Thumieux, but maybe it's Thumieux.
If you've never heard of it, you might have seen it because it's on that street at the end of Rue Saint-Dominique where the Eiffel Tower looms so big above the street, and it's got this old, would you say Art Deco name out the front?
It's just like a big neon sign, a big vertical neon sign saying Thumieux.
Yeah, you might have taken a picture of it without even realizing.
Yeah,
it's right there. It's beautiful.
It's great.
And the restaurant itself, it's very classic, quite elegant.
But actually, really, like it's really bouging in there.
Bouging.
It's bouging in there.
Ça bouge, the French word for it moves. There's a good one to impress a French person.
Yeah, ça bouge.
Ça bouge, ça bouge.
That
ça
means
bouge
like,
ici.
yeah.
Like it's happening.
Yeah, it's like, it's, yeah, it's good.
It moves.
It moves.
I use that all the time. I say it all the
maybe
time.
that's where I picked it up from.
Yeah. I think Lena and I have this funny thing that I don't know why I'm talking about us when you're sitting right in front of me. Something funny that you and I do without realizing is we use words from Swedish, French, and English.
Yeah, just incorporate.
Englishify them often.
Yeah, and
so
then make
really
like a
booging around here today without really thinking about.
No one really knows what we're talking about. But
if people would if we had friends. They wouldn't know what we're talking about half the time.
Yeah,
but I think
lucky we don't.
I'd risk going too far off topic. There are some words in Swedish and French that are just better than the English equivalents, like bouge. This is a very good word.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's very bouging, except when we went, because we went really early in order to have time to do some other activities that we lined up for the evening.
But the food, very French food, very nice.
It's really good. It's like all the classics, but just lovely. High quality stuff, high quality service, a lot of people watching.
True.
I feel.
And you go there on I think Friday, Saturday night, they have a pianist in there, and we've seen that there before too.
Yeah,
really
so it's
cool.
Strictly indoors.
I got another earful scoop, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What?
Before we went to this, but it's kind of funny, before we went to this restaurant, we were there too early. They hadn't even opened yet. That's how early we were. Gosh, how sad. So we went to this Irish bar next door called O'Brien's that I'd wanted to go to. We've been before, but I've been wanting to go there for like a year. I'm always like, I feel like a pint of Guinness. Anyway, we're like, this is the perfect time. Went in, and I was like, I'll have a beer, please. And he said, well, we don't have this, don't have this, don't have. He just kept listing what they don't have. I was like, well,
What's
bar.
What's going on? It's not bouging in here.
And he said, yeah, we're closing in 3 days. Because the restaurant next door is like bought us out. Thumieux has bought them out. They're going to knock down the wall and make it bigger.
Make it a mega restaurant.
So if you're listening to this podcast, it will have already closed. You missed your chance to go to O'Brien's, but by the time you get to Thumieux, it might be even bigger and better.
But if you feel like, like an Irish bar kind of thing, there's another one down.
Happany.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And is that on
Rue
Grinnell?
Yeah, Rue Grinnell. Yeah. So there you go. Thumieux, really good. Like pricey, like it's probably double the price of a typical bistro.
Yeah. Or like a brasserie.
Yeah, double the price. A third the price of Maxime's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from last week.
At least, maybe more.
Okay, so this is the big sort of pearl of this district for us. And we're probably going to get quite emotional talking about it, I think. On Thursday nights, the Musée d'Orsay, one of the best museums in the universe,
so good,
is open late, open till 10 at night. So if you want to avoid crowds, like we didn't have to line up for 1 second. We pre-bought the tickets, but there wasn't even a queue to get in there.
Yeah, it was so smooth.
It is just a stunning museum. And maybe I'll start with what I sort of experienced going there. We've been there a bunch of times already.
It's a favorite.
And I was kind of thinking going there this time, I was like, what I really want is to go to those the inside of the clocks at the top. Because there used to be a train station 100 years ago, whatever. Got the big clocks, you can look through them out to Paris. I was kind of thinking, that's the shot I want. That's what I want to see. I've been here before. What happened, though, was, at the end of Titanic, right? When
you're talking raft scene.
Can you do spoilers? Do you have to do spoiler alerts for Titanic nowadays?
Surely not.
Surely not. Okay, well I still won't. I won't ruin it.
All right.
But at the end, where everyone from the movie is standing there clapping for him, right, and all the characters are back. That's what it felt like for me, looking at all the art in the Musée d'Orsay.
Yes.
After the last visit and doing all this countdown that we've done, seeing so much of Paris.
So much coming together is amazing. It's like Big Fish.
Like Big Fish as well. Yeah. No spoiler alerts. Similar thing happens at the end.
Is it the same movie?
But what like for example, we ate in the 18th arrondissement at the Moulin de la Galette, where Renoir painted his famous Bal de le Moulin de la Galette, whatever it's called.
Exactly. And
that original is in there. It's huge. It's on the wall. And we're like, whoa, that's there.
No, it's just wonderful. And then another thing, the Edgar Degas, he painted a lot of scenes from the opera, like the ballet dancers.
Yes.
So that was there.
2 weeks ago,
there were more things.
There was a lot of Hector Guimard. They have.
Oh yes, of course.
Not like furniture. They have furniture on the inside.
Yeah, interior. Like interior pieces.
And another thing, there was Lena's been working on the new children's book, and she's doing a few artistic nods. And there's a picture of it's Monet, right?
Yeah.
He's done Rue Montaguet, which we mentioned in this episode already, and Lena's kind of drawn it in the new book. How about you? Did you have a favorite piece?
Yes, I actually got really stuck looking at the huge pieces of unfinished painting from Monet. It's it's called Breakfast in the Grass or
Lunch,
something like that. Lunch in the Grass, and it's painted on two separate tableaus.
Yeah.
So I really like that.
That was enormous.
It's huge. It's beautiful. The use of color is just amazing. How about you?
What's that one that I liked? Where I don't know how to pronounce his name. Caillebotte.
Oh yeah, the floor strippers.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that was good.
Which for all you Australians, floor strippers. We're not talking about. This isn't Moulin Rouge again. We're talking about. It's like 3 or 4 guys peeling back the paint on the floor of a Haussmannian building. And for you Australian listeners, it really reminds me of a famous painting of sheep shearers that I saw somewhere once.
Yeah, it was very similar.
Someone will write in and tell me what I'm talking about. Thank you in advance. After that wonderful experience, we walked down by the Seine, which everyone must do. And
at sunset, it's so good. Everything's so soft, like the light is so soft, the colors are soft. It's great.
Then we walked to this. We went by night to look at some of the lit up places. So the Invalides looks magnificent at night. The Gold Dome where Napoleon is buried. That's also worth seeing. We didn't do it this time, but just the exterior is great. And then for the Eiffel Tower sparkle, we hinted at the start of the episode. Go and check out this restaurant called Les Ombres, the Shadows. It's on top of the Musée Branly, which is like indigenous art. And I didn't even know there was a restaurant at the top there.
I had no idea.
And it's got a huge balcony. You can see the Eiffel Tower. You're like very close.
Yeah.
And totally worth it.
One of the best views in town, like for sure.
So there you go. Let's get on to the scores.
Yeah.
Scores. For those new around here, we've got 5 categories. We both score it out of 10 for a total score of 100. At the moment, the 10th and the 18th arrondissements are leading on 72 out of 100. Last week, the 8th got 70, so the top 3 is changing all the time.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Very.
For strollability, how easy is it for a stroll?
I put 9.
Me too.
Ooh, okay, perfect.
The only reason it lost was because it's kind of big.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
there are
really
long distances. Yeah. But I mean, it's great.
But they get very good. Okay, affordability.
1.
I put 3.
3?
Well,
I feel like it's really expensive.
But I was also like,
I'm planning a 0 in the future. Not for the 7th, for future.
I was thinking you can go to the Musée d'Orsay for 12 euros.
Yeah.
That's cheap for what you're seeing.
Sure.
I mean,
like, are you basing this whole thing on the Musée d'Orsay online tickets?
Eiffel Tower is free to look at.
I think you are. Guys, I think I'm more
That's
right.
A low score.
Okay, well.
Shareability.
10.
10, of course.
Obviously.
Touristability.
10.
10, of course.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
9.
I put 7.
Okay.
My logic was, you're not that central. So it's not accessible to the rest of Paris.
But you think you are.
Okay, trust me on that one. Ladies are going crazy. Those scores were high, though.
Oh, yeah.
4 10s. What did yours add up to?
39.
Me too.
Wow.
That's 78.
The great.
78. That's top place. I'm kind of surprised it's not higher than 78. I think it lost points for being expensive and a bit too big. 78, that's the top score so far.
I mean, it's huge.
This is the best arrondissement. If we were to stop the season now...
This is it. We're not at all biased. Maybe a bit.
I will say this. The next 6 districts are getting smaller. I think cheaper in some places.
Yeah,
and
I think so too.
A lot of touristiness going on. The scores could keep rising.
Or falling.
You never know with this show.
Stay tuned.
This is the Earful Tower podcast. You have been listening to the Paris Countdown season. A huge thank you to the Patreon members and everybody else that helped make this episode possible.
Yes, thank you so much.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.